Japan's birth rate continues to fall. According to the latest government figures, a record low of 350,000 babies were born in the first half of 2024. In this next report, we hear from young people in Japan about their reluctance to have kids.
This newly married couple, who chose to remain nameless, live in Tokyo. The pair in their 30s hope to start a family, but say their financial situation is tight.
We want a child if things go well, but it's not a decision we take lightly.
She's a company employee, and he's a freelance camera operator. They told us that on top of paying over $1,000 a month in rent, needing a car to get to work, and other expenses, they haven't even held a wedding ceremony.
I'm always anxious about what we would do if we run short of money after a child is born.
Young people across Japan are experiencing similar anxieties, in part due to low wages. This graph shows the trajectory of annual wages across 3 generations of Japanese male employees, specifically university graduates working full-time. The red line shows that those born in the mid-60s were earning nearly 6 million yen, or about $40,000 a year in their early 30s. The blue line shows that those born in the mid-70s were earning 5.4 million yen, or about $37,000 by the same age. And finally, the yellow line shows that those born in the late 1980s to early 90s were making around 4.9 million yen, or roughly $33,000. That's 1 million yen less than those born in the mid-1960s. For some, even marriage seems unattainable in the current climate. This 29-year-old man lives alone in Tokyo, working as an accountant. He also chose to remain anonymous. He says he only became a full-time employee 6 months ago after getting his bookkeeping license. He says he got a moderate raise, but still doesn't make enough to consider starting a family.
For me, marriage is a kind of luxury. It is difficult to attain if you are not privileged. I don't want my children to struggle.
Japan's birth rate has fallen to record lows for 8 years in a row. In response to a looming population crisis, Japanese Prime Minister Kishida Fumio has promised more support and subsidies for families with children. But this expert says the focus should be on young people who aren't at that stage in life. He says raising wages is essential.
About 1.2 million children were born each year in the 1990s, and they are now at the age to get married and have kids. There's a need to introduce solid measures to encourage them to have kids while they are still in their 30s.
The expert says Japan has until about 2030 to reverse the trend. He says young people today want their future kids to have a high quality of life, so the Japanese government needs to do more to ensure that before it's too late.